Hey there everyone, this is Ray Carcillo, and today we are taking a look at Dante's Inferno for the PS3 from EA. Dante Alighieri's The Divine Comedy is one of the most influential works of literature the world has known. It depicted the concept of hell, purgatory, and heaven in such detail that it became a widely believed standard that is still referenced to this day. It also was the first major work of literature that used the Tuscan dialect in early 14th century Italy instead of Latin, and paved the way for the modern Italian language. With that kind of historical gravitas and background, no wonder EA wanted to make a video game series out of it. Dante's Inferno, the first part of the trilogy that is the Divine Comedy, sees the main character, Dante, having to face all his sins from his life as a Crusader as he makes his way through all 9 layers of hell on his way to redemption. In this EA version of the classic poem, Dante is not only looking to redeem himself, but to also save his true love and ideal woman, Beatrice. It always has to do with a chick. Along the way, Dante comes across some of history's most influential beings, from Pontius Pilate to Attila the Hun, in an effort to help depict the 9 layers of hell and sin, which of course translate perfect into levels for a video game. Limbo, lust, gluttony, greed, anger, heresy, violence, fraud, and treachery all have their famous faces in the game, and it's key that you meet them, as absolving or punishing history's most infamous sinners can also help you level up your abilities. Also true to the original story, the great Italian philosopher Virgil will act as your guide and explain to you what horrors you can expect to face in the coming trials. EA's interpretation of Dante's classic work is one of the most visually stunning games I've seen. The level and character details are exquisite, and the creative way in which they imagine famous characters like Cerberus, the mythical giant 3-headed dog and guard of gluttony, is a sight to behold. When you add in an original orchestral theme from the Philharmonic Orchestra in London, and the atmosphere for Dante's Inferno is top-notch. The plot is very compelling, the story of course is still popular after 700 years, and the characters are very well developed, helped by top-notch voice acting, an amazing mixture of 2D anime and full 3D cutscenes, like EA having Dante go a little more hardcore in their version as he sews a tapestry across his chest in the shape of a cross. And of course some artistic nudity can't hurt either. The tapestry is critical in that it tells Dante's story up to the point where he enters hell, and is quite simply a creative masterstroke. This easily makes EA's Dante's Inferno one of the more original retellings of this classic tale. Unfortunately, like many of these third-person action-adventure God of War clones, no matter how much you level up, you really only need 2 or 3 attacks, while the rest are pretty unnecessary. You can just smash your standard light attack and heavy attack all the way through the 9 levels of hell, just like I did, without having to level anything up except maybe your health bar and attack strength. In fact, it seems that the only real difference between this and God of War is that this draws more from Catholic mythology instead of Greek. Another sour note about this game is that there isn't much to bring you back into the game once you beat it. Although there is DLC with a prequel level showing some of Dante's exploits in the Crusades, and another separate DLC with a level-building multiplayer called The Trials of St. Lucia, the game itself, as is, doesn't really offer much up in terms of replay value all on its own. When you consider this one of literature's most influential stories, and you have to give kudos to EA for doing a spectacular job bringing it to life. It's a shame though that Dante's Inferno lacks any real gameplay variety or difficulty, as the game shouldn't take most gamers more than 10 hours to blow through. Not to mention it's a straight up God of War clone, although if you're going to rip off a series, at least it be a successful one. Despite this, with its amazing art style and the great reimagining of this classic tale, it makes me lean towards saying this is at least worth a look, but I would hold off on buying it outright if I didn't have the cash to burn.